Salut mine comrades, I wanted to show you a bit of this game I've been playing called watermark.io. Watermark.io is a multiplayer game where you control a worm trying to survive in a hostile environment. As you can see here, we have our worm here, which is labeled with our name, and our objective basically is to collect this life force that's on the ground. You can kill worms and collect their life force. They'll drop a whole bunch of it. And you eat it and you grow larger, and as you grow larger it becomes easier to defeat the other players. Now to do that, you have to get them to run into your sides. If you run into someone's sides, you die. We're gonna try to get La Hell here. Thanar might be with us. Oh, that's another thing. I'm pretty sure this game is marketed towards children and such, so I'm going to be doing something unprecedented for my channel and censoring myself. Okay, wow. Good job, Dado. I'm going to take some of this food. Go ahead, it's yours. He probably thinks I'm trying to trap him, but I think it's fair. He made that kill. That was a pretty... I got distracted. So yeah, it's a very competitive game, and there's something to be gained by having it purely multiplayer. I think there are some AI, I'm not sure, but for the most part it's just other players, and that delivers a really unique experience as far as the ability of you and your opponents to strategize against one another, to react to each other. And like the feeling of victory feels a bit more real, knowing it's another person on the other end of that connection. Come here, JP. I need your food. So yeah, you just slide along, eat food, and you can see in the top right there's a little leaderboard. And the number on the left is your placement. I am 157 out of like 500 people. Or I was. I'm going to drop it down to 400 again now that I've died once again. And on the right side of the name, you can see everyone's current size. You have some behemoths, or like thousands upon thousands of units greater than we are. He's not going to fall for those tricks. And I really need to get bigger before I try hunting people. An interesting strategy I've noticed is to actually go towards the edge of the map, like all the way to the edge of the map. There is an edge, it doesn't circle in upon itself, which I feel it could do, but it doesn't. And by the time you get to the edge, any life force that you'll pick up, you'll be sufficiently large enough that by the time you get back, you'll be able to successfully hunt people a lot easier. Now these are the AI I was talking about. I think these are AI. I noticed them hanging out around the edge and they don't have any names attached to them. And you see the skin pop up a lot. A lot of people will use the default skin, but as you can see there's a lot of custom skins available to different players who have like signed up and gone through some other loops. And that's how you hunt people. If I can get large enough, I might show you ensnarement, which is basically you ensnare someone and prevent them from escaping, but I'm too small to pull it off right now. Oh, that was close. This is a dangerous situation we find ourselves in. I'm gonna try to avoid the python there. I don't know if I've talked about the power-ups. You can pick them up and they give you different abilities. I think there's 4 of them. Here, we'll ensnare this guy. That was horrible. Commentator's curse. Anyway, the power-ups. One gives you like radioactive abilities, so it makes you poisonous. If people kill you, the life force shrinks instead of grows. And that is helpful for removing people's incentive to hurt you. Another one lets you see further, another one grows you instantly. And there's another one that seems to grow you instantly, but I haven't figured out what it does exactly and how it differs from the other one. Let's see. We're gonna try to move away from these giants and make ourselves a bit larger. Yeah, I don't like being in really crowded areas. I try to avoid others. One thing to say about this game, a couple things actually. There's no music. Anything that I might have added into the background is just me, which kind of leads to a dreary, just dull atmosphere, but you can always throw on music yourself. And that leads into the second issue, where I've noticed, not a noticeable amount of lag, but it is an online game, so there are going to be lag spikes and everything. Just the more players you have in an area, and the more that's going on around the screen, the more affects the game's trying to run at one time. You'll notice your computer slow down, and that might have an effect on gameplay, but it doesn't make the game unplayable. It doesn't have that huge an effect on it, and overall it's not even noticeable for the most part. And I'm gonna get myself up to 73 and then we'll go see if we can hunt. Here's someone. Scavengers. Okay, now this is what I was talking about with ensnarement. I've now created a circle he has no way of escaping. And so his only alternative is sort of just ride into me. Circle around until he makes a mistake. Now he could potentially ride around the edge, and if I make a mistake and close in too fast, I might hit him. So it's not death is an inevitable situation, it just takes a little bit of working in order to get out of those situations. And that's the basic strategy of the game: encircle your enemies and eat them. Here we go. This gives us an instant growth, a little bit more mass. Significantly useful when you're smaller. I've gotten up to a decent size. I'm in the top 100. I have no reason to hurt him, because you can see he's glowing. He's currently poisoned. This guy's gonna try to ensnare me. Oh, that's another thing I haven't talked about. You have power-ups available to you. They're actually not the power-ups. The power-ups are the stuff that's scattered around the map. But you have different abilities that you always have, and some of them have cooldowns. The first one I'm using now is the speed boost. Oh well. And it gives you a short burst of speed. The other two are the stop command, which stops you instantly and prevents you from hitting stuff. And the last is ghost ability. It phases you out so that if you do get ensnared, you can escape from those situations. You can go through other players without dying. Mine. Yeah. But that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about with this game. I wanted to show it off real quick, give it a good once over. So, thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed. Sayonara.